Hey, what's up, guys? In this video, I'm going to explain how I would determine, because this is a question I've gotten a few times, how much testosterone and other compounds to take in what ratio, okay? But first, we're going to start with how much testosterone to take, because testosterone is known as it's the base of any steroid cycle, okay? So in a TRT dose, it is anywhere from like, I would say 150 to 250 being like a standard, right? And that's determined on for every 1 pound of UR, you do a milliliter of testosterone a week, okay? So say you weigh 200 pounds, you're going to take 200 a week. That's the TRT dose, okay? So I'm going to add on, because I'm not doing a TRT dose. This is about the TRT plus or an HRT cycle. So first we're going to determine how much testosterone to take in a TRT dose. And the simple method is just add 150 to that, your body weight. So I'm 210 right now. I'm going to add 150, so that makes it 360, okay? But, or like say you're 150, then you add on 150 pounds, you add on 150, so you're going to take 300 in a TRT plus dosage, because the logic there is, you weigh less, so you don't need as much, okay? But it's not that simple, because I know some of you are probably yelling at the screen and telling me I'm a fucking idiot, that some people who are like 250 pounds are not 250 pounds of muscle, they're 250 pounds of fat. So they're not going to be doing the same amount of testosterone, right? Somebody who's fat than somebody who's 250 lean muscle. Somebody who's 250 pounds, less than 5% muscle could probably get away with doing like definitely over a gram of testosterone, because they don't have the estrogen conversion. So here's how you modulate this, which is if you're over 20%, say 15-20% over, okay, you're going to only add 100 testosterone, not 150. Now, if you're under that, if you're very lean, you can add 200. So say you're 200 pounds, very lean, you can definitely do 400 milliliters a week of testosterone, okay? But, so that's the first part, okay? But I have to add on to this, which is the secondary compounds that you're going to add on to that. How do you determine that? So after the first formula, if you determine that it's 300 or under 350, okay, then you don't have to add on potentially another, like either Masteron or Primabone as an AI, okay? Now, I know some of you are yelling at the screen saying you potentially do, not as an AI, as a selective androgen receptor modulator. Sorry. And again, I understand there's some differences here, but here's what I'm going to say. If you're, say, 300 to 350, then you don't need to okay, the amount of Masteron, say, or Primabone is going to be to a 2 to 3 ratio to testosterone. That's what I want to say. But if it's over 350, you have to make it a 1-to-1 ratio. I think that's a simple guide. Like, that's what people are looking for. Again, I know people are probably yelling at the fucking screen, telling me I'm a fucking idiot. And I know there's other scenarios where that's not the case. But, okay, I'm just going to overview everything, okay? Whatever your weight is in pounds, add 150, okay? Now, based on that, are you more fat or less fat than normal? If you're more fat than normal, subtract 50. If you're less fat than normal, you're pretty trim, add 50. If you're normal, just keep it 100. That's very safe. Now, based on that number, if it's over 350, wait, no, it should be everything. Well, no, that's the case. Hear me again. Over 350, then you're going to go to a 1-to-1 ratio with something like a Primabone or Masteron. If it's under 350, you go to a 2 to 3 ratio. So 2 parts masteron to 3 parts testosterone. Okay? Make sense? I think that makes total sense. And I think that would be a very safe, again, in the realm, in the ballpark of the type of people that I'm trying to reach, and because this is what my own experience and my own research, I'm not a fucking pro bodybuilder. I'm not somebody who's going to be on stage. I'm not doing the cycles that they're doing, right? And I'm not a fucking guy just doing a TRT. So I'm somewhere in the middle, and I call that TRT plus or HRT. And what that is somebody who's, say, like my age, 40 years old, who's hardcore gym, and for me, boxing, and even skateboarding, and running, and biking, and being an active guy, that you want to be in shape and be, excelling at your age, right? Well, again, I'll just say so. Say you weigh 200 pounds. Add that 150, that's 350 test. Okay, based on that, are you a little fat or a little slim? Or average? If you're average, leave that 350. So take 350 tests a week. Done. That easy. Now, 350, is that above or below 350? Now you can either, I would say, match it at this point with something else. If it's below 350, then go to a 2 to 3 ratio of the masteron to testosterone. But since you're at 350 then, right, because you're 200 pounds, then you can 1-to-1 ratio it. And if you want to, then add on afterwards. Like, that's the starting point. That's the one thing I was going to mention. This is where you start with. Then you can add on afterwards if you want to push it. And then figure out, once you've pushed it to a limit and you start feeling like shit, so you titrate 50 milligrams or something of one thing and another a week after that, and after 3 weeks you feel like shit, you pull it back. Pull it back to the original dose and then work up again from there. You're bracketing in what works and what doesn't. That's the smart way to do it, and the smarter way is taking the blood tests as well while you're doing this. But I very think at the very least you can potentially cruise on that initial dose of testosterone and that 2 to 3 ratio of something else. So, like, again, me around when I am, like, say 350 test and what's 2 to 3 ratio, so like upwards 250 to 300 of masteron. That would very much be, I think, a cruise dose of something where you still want to be making gains. Like, you could bring it all the way down to a TRT, which is like 250, and that'd be very safe. But if you want to be pushing for a while, like, I don't think that there's anything wrong with pushing your cruise doses a little higher too, and when you're initiating it, when you're starting. And then eventually, once you gain the build that you want, you can bring it back to a TRT dose, and then, after 3 months or 4 months, you can bring it back up again. That's my logic. What do you guys think? Am I wrong? Am I right? I think I found a very good formula that would be widely applicable to a lot of people. And I never heard this anywhere else, okay? So, I know, but it's simple. I don't want to, like, pat myself on the back a little bit too much here. Or, like, maybe there is some legit criticism. Let's hear from you guys if what I'm saying is wrong in some way. But I think a lot of people could benefit from who are in the same boat as me, who want to take testosterone, prima bone dose, and something else, right? So I'll leave it there. Maybe the last thing I'll mention is if you do add on something like nandrolone, you want to keep the masteron level up to a 1-to-1 ratio. You don't want to keep that at the 2 to 3 ratio. 2 to 3 ratio. So I'll leave it there, guys. What do you think about that? Leave in the comments section below. Some groundbreaking stuff. Just joking. Like always, peace.